Total assets on the contributory pension hit 12.29 trillion naira. AFCFTA, Nigerian commodity market to facilitate efficient export of commodities. Fitch sees oil rally lifting Nigeria's external reserves to 16-point high. Plus, impact of Nigeria's economic sustainability plan in focus on the program today. It is Business Express on the network service of the NTA, and we are reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Abubakar. A week-long sixth session of the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa, PIDA, kicks off today, Monday, to review progress, share experiences and build consensus on key infrastructure projects for 2021 to 2030 that will take Africa to the next level of development. PIDA is a continental initiative that provides a common framework for African stakeholders to build the infrastructure necessary to integrate the continent physically, economically, and socially. Speaking ahead of the meeting with the theme New Decade, New Realities, New Priorities, positioning PIDA and infrastructure development in Africa's continued growth and economic recovery, Economic Commission for Africa's Regional Integration and Trade Division Director Stephen Kiringi said with the AFCFTA set to address Africa's investment challenges, there was an urgent need to address the continent's infrastructure deficit. PIDA has the Economic Commission for Africa partnering with development partners every year in hosting PIDA Week, which was inaugurated in 2015 as a forum to bring together key stakeholders in the implementation of the PIDA program. Now, the Nigerian Commodity Exchange has been positioned to facilitate efficient export of commodities as the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement AFCFTA takes off. Managing Director of the exchange, Zahira Baba Ari, said on Sunday that the establishment of the Continental Trade Bloc will be beneficial to African countries if properly managed, adding that in view of the expected adverse effects of COVID-19 on the world, AFCFTA will boost intra-African trade and mitigate the rapid decline in the GDP of African countries. Baba Ari revealed that the exchange had established a network of 20 licensed delivery warehouses across major production areas in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country for efficient receipt and storage of agro-commodities to be traded on the exchange. The people of Gombe State are happy to see projects of the combined efforts of the state and federal governments being steadily executed in the state. Emmanuel Akila reports that this was indicated by chairs of the benefiting communities who received Governor Muhammad Inuwa Yahaya on inspection of the projects.
Township road projects in the state capital are in steady progress. Therefore, the government is turning attention to the suburbs for uniform development. The works include gully erosion control that have taken severe dimensions, which are being handled by concerted efforts of the state and federal governments, having attracted helping hands of the World Bank. The problems are already causing difficulties to residents, especially Gombe State University community. In Malang Ina, the locals are happy with the health center under construction. Therefore, welcome the governor's entourage with cheers. In Wurojuli, it is not only the roads construction and tackling menace of gully erosion, but also a skills acquisition center is underway. Another project of synergy by the state and federal governments under the sustainable development goals targeted at a better life for the people.
The whole world is faced by economic downturn as a result of COVID. Notwithstanding, we are working and we shall continue to work and we shall deliver in all aspects of human endeavor.
The cheers by the beneficiaries signal the promised change on the horizon.
Following the health and economic emergencies caused by COVID-19, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the Economic Sustainability Committee on March 30th, 2020, with a mandate to develop a clear economic sustainability plan in response to challenges posed by the pandemic. This includes identifying fiscal measures for increasing non-oil revenues and reducing non-essential spending, propose monetary policy measures in support of the plan, provide fiscal and monetary stimulus package, including support to private businesses, with emphasis on strategic sectors most affected by the pandemic and vulnerable segments of the population, propose a clear-cut strategy to keep existing jobs and create opportunities for new ones, among other objectives. Now, to illustrate this progress made so far, we have joining us via telephone is Dr. Adeyemi Diopulu. He is the Senior Advisor to the President on Economic Matters. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much.
Okay. In crisis situations such as pandemic-induced recession, stimulus packages are believed to aid recovery. And with 2.3 trillion naira package in the stability plan, how is that helping the recovery process?
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. I think the starting point, of course, is to elaborate that stimulus package usually work by government increasing spending, giving tax discounts and quality, easier credit conditions, and enabling farmers so as to support businesses, to help prevent bankruptcies, to help save jobs, and basically to boost domestic local production. So by and large, it's the collective impact of the programs in the economic sustainability plan, which, as you said, amounts to 2.2 trillion. That will help to mitigate some of the impacts of that of the crisis.
Okay, Mr. President's mantra of produce what we eat and eat what we produce is part of the strategy of the plan. How have we fared in doing that?
Yes, of course, the President's mantra shows exactly the priority that places on food security. Indeed, the economic plan itself also places a lot of emphasis on security, as can be seen in the program, the big program, the Agric for Food and Jobs program in the economic sustainability plan. And it is, the plan is going quite well. It's an integrated plan that is intended to increase production through increasing the acreage of land under cultivation, but also improving the yield by also bringing a large number of farmers to participate in the scheme. I think we've registered about 5.4 million farmers now. We've linked into several platform farmers. They are getting them BVN, the National Identity Card, so that we can participate in this. As you know, start from, of course, encouraging production through good seedlings, good input and fertilizers, supporting harvest, but critical, of course, is guaranteeing oxygen.
Okay, there's the guarantee of take-off farm produce scheme. Did that happen in the just ended harvest season?
We realize, of course, that given timing issues and time that the plant came into operation, all the steps, the planting had already taken place. But I must emphasize that the economic sustainability plan is building on things that used to happen before. So, of course, there were outgrower schemes in the country before. And so, of course, the outgrower schemes that were already in place, of course, took some of the produce in the first harvest season. But I think
Okay, housing deficit has been put at about 17 million over the years. Now, we have the Mass Social Housing Initiative taking off with 300,000 units. Do you see these numbers bridging the deficit in no time?
Yes, thank you very much. The housing program has several objectives. One of them, of course, is to increase the stock of housing. But I think also central was the idea of creating a large number of jobs, artisanal jobs. You can have carpenters, you can have bricklayers, plumbers, electricians, brick builders, who will be working on all these sites. Also to encourage young professionals, architects, engineers, quantity surveyors, and co. The objective, of course, is to energize the use of local products, like cement, of course, for instance, which we have in about the country along with other building material types, including wood. So yes, we hope that through that process, we would also stimulate housing finance, and then we build, as I said, the ecosystem whereby houses are being built, people are able to pay for them through cooperatives and through other processes. And by and large, then we have a self-sustaining housing market. So 300,000 will intend, but of course it will not totally eliminate. But once the system is in place, then we will begin to gradually build up.
Okay, we hear the project will employ the use of local materials, installing solar power in 5 million homes and providing assistance to daily paid and self-employed workers, petty traders and other artisans. Is there a planned strategy to achieving this?
Yes, that's what we have. There's a program called Solar Power within the Economic Sustainability Plan. And indeed, that program is intended to energize 5 million households, which means up to 25 million Nigerians will benefit, sometimes more. And that will create jobs, we hope, exactly among the electricians and the people who will install the solar system. So that is going quite well. We've managed to work with the central bank.
Okay. Okay, extensive public works and road construction program is being launched. We know that importation of bitumen for road construction has been a challenge. Are there plans to shift emphasis to the use of locally available materials?
Oh, certainly. That is already taking place. Of course, you know about the Apapa Shoki Expressway already, which is using cement. But critically, the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has helped the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, which is in charge of rural roads, to draw up a scheme as a template that will help them to see how best they can use cement and other type materials to build rural roads. So certainly very much part of the process.
Okay, I don't know whether you're considering granites and other materials which we have in abundance locally.
Yes, that's what I said. The granite, of course, is being used, and we have that in abundance in the country. I'm saying that.
Okay, there has been job losses in aviation, hotels, private schools, restaurants, with most of the proprietors finding it difficult to continue making loan repayments to banks. What is available for this group in the plan?
Oh, directly, of course, 5 billion naira was given to the aviation sector to help support them as a result of the difficulties arising from the pandemic. Of that 5 billion, 4 billion went to airline operators, and 1 billion went to associated companies like caterers, ground handling staff, and the like. And then in the other sectors, we have what we call the payroll support, which supports small-scale enterprises across various sectors. So, for instance, in education alone, over 10,000 establishments have received support for 84,000 employees, up to a total of 2.2 billion have been deployed in that regard. So, of course, in addition to that, there are the cheaper loans I mentioned earlier, and the ability to restructure their facilities.
Now, where is the place of digital economy in all these?
Well, the digital economy is central. If you look at the plan itself, under the cross-cutting issues contained in that plan, you will find that there is a specification that we must achieve national broadband infrastructure by 2023. And I think the relevant ministry has a plan for that. There's also the whole idea of ensuring that every Nigerian has a national identity number, which will produce, protect, and promote the use of digital methods within the economy.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Adeyemi Diopulu, for your time.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Now, moving on, oil prices on Monday fell further from 11-month highs touched last week, ending a rally that started at the end of October on production cuts and strong Chinese demand, with the market's outlook questioned as coronavirus infections rise. A look at the price of oil and other commodities this Monday. Global rating agency Fitch sees the external reserves of Nigeria's economy rising to $42 billion by the end of 2021, the highest since September 2019, courtesy of a projected average oil price of $53 per barrel, compared to the $43.01 per barrel recorded in 2020. Now, your residents are lamenting the high cost of sachet water, wondering what will have caused the development, as water is an essential need of the body for healthy living. Correspondent Joy Ubadi says the residents' worry is obvious as she engaged people along streets in the metropolis.
Drinking of sachet water is one of the easiest ways of meeting the daily water intake. However, it is believed that sachet water is purified and safe for drinking. In recent times, sachet water has become popular in most homes, bukas, and event centers in Nigeria. It has been observed that there is a 100% increase in the price of sachet water in Uyo metropolis, which has contributed to the suffering of the masses.
Sachet water now is very high and alarming. It's as if they don't want us to take water anymore.
It's surprising that I just came to Akwa Ibom State some few days ago, just seeing it that pure water is 20 naira.
By statistics, after Abuja is Akwa Ibom State for expensive things. Why is it so?
Me, I don't buy it again because I don't want to spend my money and buying pure water. I now borrow water and drink.
Some dealers and retailers of sachet water lament low patronage as a result of high.
I feel somehow because I did not sell them fast.
It's not moving. Okay. Since morning I carry this water, I did not see market but I sell it.
The dealers, they had a strike of like 1 week or so, or 2 weeks. Then after the strike, they increased.
Sachet water is expensive. And we say they cannot even tell us the real reason why the water is expensive. Some of them are saying it's the sachet, it's this, it's the transportation. And they're selling for us a bag of water, 150. We that are retailing, we're selling 200 naira.
As sales of sachet water increased, some residents say boiling water will be the next option if the increment is not addressed by relevant authorities.
The week ended in green on the capital market as last week as investors traded more than 3 billion shares. Nneka Oko has a summary of market activities.
3.4 billion shares worth 32.7 billion naira in 30,327 deals were traded last week by investors on the floor of the exchange. The NSE All Share Index appreciated by 2.63% to close at 41,176.14, while market capitalization rose to 21.5 trillion naira. All other indices finished higher, with the exception of NSE Mary Growth, which depreciated by 3.32%, while the NSE SM index closed flat. The financial services industry led the activity chart with 1.7 billion shares valued at 13.3 billion naira traded in 15,102 deals. The real estate industry followed with 768 million shares, while the third place was occupied by the conglomerates industry. Trading in the top three equities, UPDC Real Estate Investment Trust, Mutual Benefits Assurance, and TCN accounted for 1.2 billion shares worth 4.4 billion naira in 929 deals. A total of 413,509 units of exchange-traded products valued at 2.4 billion naira were traded in the week in 42 deals, as well as 11,420 units of federal government bonds valued at 12.3 million naira. 60 equities appreciated in price during the week. 19 equities depreciated in price, while 82 equities remained unchanged. Neka Oku for Business Express.
And now the Nigerian stock market recorded a negative close for the first trading day of the week as the NSE All-Share Index depreciated by 0.23% to close at 41,082.38 basis points. Market capitalization dropped to 21.4 trillion naira. 738.5 million shares worth 4.1 billion naira exchanged hands in 7,396 deals at the end of the session. The most active stocks for the day were Japan Gold, Universal Insurance, and Transcorp. Shares in Asia Pacific were mixed on Monday as investors in the region reacted to Chinese economic data, including the country's GDP print for the fourth quarter. Bosede Abel takes it from here.
It was a weak start for Africa's stocks as early trading were negative, with Tunisia's Tunidex, Nairobi's All-Share and Namibia's overall index depreciating. South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40 posting gains, while Ghana's GSE Composite was marginal. Shares of firms related to South Korean conglomerate Samsung Group plunged in Monday's trade after it was reported that the Samsung head J.Y. Lee has received a 2.5-year J term. This development affected most stocks in Asia Pacific in early Monday's trading as investors in the region also reacted to Chinese economic data, including the country's GDP print for the fourth quarter. Nikkei fell 0.97% to close at 28,242.21. Shanghai Composite up 0.84% to 3,596.22, and the Hang Seng Index rose 1.01% as of its final hour of trading. In the United States, stocks fell on Friday to close out a tough week as traders weighed President-elect Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, along with the latest earnings from some of the biggest U.S. banks. While in early Monday's trading, the Dow was down more than 300 points. The S&P 500 dipped 0.7% to 3,768.25, while the Nasdaq Composite slid 0.9% to end the day at 12,998.5. European markets are following worrisome tones set elsewhere overnight and last week. Meanwhile, in Europe, the coronavirus pandemic and rollout of vaccinations continues to dominate headlines. Bosede Abel, Business Express.
This is where we end this episode of the program. Don't forget you can access this and all previous episodes on YouTube, and you can also communicate with us on Twitter, and the handle is NTA News Now. The hashtag is BizX. We value your feedback. Do join us again on Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. for another package. I am Musa Abubakar saying stay safe.